On the Tahoe Rim Trail, I brought 3 cameras because I wanted to create something special. I thought more cameras meant more, better, unique footage. Instead, it mostly meant dead weight, and one of these cameras hardly left my backpack. So if you're thinking about filming your hikes, here's what I learned the hard way. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for being with me here again today. Hey, in this week's video, I want to talk through some of the things that I learned as I tried to document my Tahoe Rim Trail through hike, in particular with my camera setup, and what will be changing for 2026. So hopefully this is something that is helpful for those of you who are thinking about documenting your hikes or maybe wanting to get into that. You'll be able to learn from my mistakes. Okay, so 3 cameras that I brought on the trail and the purposes behind them. The first camera I actually don't have anymore. That was the Sony ZV-1 Mark II. And this camera was really designed, or my purpose for it was really around those scenic walk-by shots, some of just the general scenic shots of what was going on around me and wanting to document the beautiful scenery. But primarily it was around those walk-by or walk-across scene shots. The second camera that I brought, I have here, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Let me get that focused. And this was really more used for those talking head shots. And if I really needed to kind of capture something very quickly, I could pull that out. And the third camera that I brought was the Insta360 X5. Really designed, and the purpose for this was to do some of those more creative shots that a 360 camera can do, especially in editing within post, and just try to add a little bit of uniqueness, a little spice to the videos and to some of the footage. So kind of on paper, this was really exciting for me, and I was really looking forward to capturing this awesome adventure on the Tahoe Rim Trail. So what we've talked about before, what looks good on paper or on a spreadsheet doesn't always work out on the trail. On the Tahoe Rim Trail, I had a few days where I was putting in some big miles, 24, 25 plus miles on, I believe, at least 3 of the days that I was hiking. As you're doing that, energy is, it's hard to manage energy because you're doing the big miles. You've got a lot of time. You just kind of have to be on your feet and moving. Accessing the different cameras for the different reasons you want them can be a challenge too, depending on the backpack and the other accessories that you may be bringing on a trail. Then there's pulling out gear repeatedly and setting up the shots and trying to get the most scenic view, and how do you frame it right, and are you able to capture on film what you're really seeing and experiencing on the trail. And the camera that I was most excited about of these 3, the Insta360 X5, barely got used. So why did the camera I was most excited about not get used at all? Well, there are a few reasons. The first reason had to just do with the accessibility of the camera and the equipment I needed to use it for. So I kept the Insta360 X5 on my right shoulder pocket of my Durston Kakwa 40 backpack. And it fit inside that thing just fine, and I could kind of cinch it up, and it was great. The challenge with this camera, first off, is by itself, it's not a huge camera, and you're not really doing anything with it as it is. And so one of the things I wanted to do with this camera was kind of recreate some drone footage shots. And in order to do that, you needed to have the larger selfie stick, or this is the 3-meter selfie stick. And that had to go in one of my water bottle pockets for it to fit. Now, we've talked about this on my channel a number of times. My little T-Rex dinosaur, very limited mobility shoulders have a hard time reaching back into those pockets. So there was never a time where I was on the go that I could just reach back and grab it, pull it out, screw the camera onto the end here, raise it, and just use it in that mode when I wanted to. It would have had to have been a time where I set the pack down, I had to set it up, and it just became kind of a hassle. Whereas my ZV-1, I had clipped my Peak Designs clip on the left side of my backpack, and I could pull that thing out very easily. That camera, I used this Petco Design tripod, and this tripod I could just kind of keep on my shoulder strap or my sternum strap and just let it sit there as I was hiking. So really easy to pull that out, unclip the camera, set it up, put it down, and do what I needed to do. The Osmo Pocket 3, I just carried that in my fanny pack. Y'all know I love fanny packs. And so again, very easy to pull this out, and it can be used as is, just handheld to vlog, to do to the side, to do whatever. Very easy, all by itself to use. So another big problem is the Insta360 X5 just requires other pieces of accessories to use it. And those were just hard for me to grab and to use. Now, I used the ZV-1 Mark II extensively. That's 90% of the footage, maybe 80% of the footage that I shot and that you all have potentially watched. And then you know the talking head shots, or where I'm carrying the camera out to the side. Those are the DJI, and it worked wonderfully as well. So 3 big lessons that I learned during the Tahoe Rim Trail with my cameras. 1 is don't overcomplicate it. There's some incredible creators on YouTube or other places that just use an iPhone. One that comes to mind is Liz Kidder. I think she's got 35,000 subscribers. She's done the AT, the PCT, the Colorado Trail, and I think she just started the Arizona Trail and has done that all on her iPhone. So don't overcomplicate things. 2, the best camera is the one that you will actually pull out and use, not the cool one that sits buried in your pack and never comes out. So think about your days, think about your mileage, think about what your energy level may or may not be like on the trail, and plan your documenting accordingly. And 3, and this was the biggest realization for me, which should have come out earlier. I should have known this because I know it with every other piece of gear, but just didn't really think about it. Weight really doesn't matter as long as it produces value. But as soon as a piece of gear is not producing, it's just dead weight. And on this particular trip, the dead weight was the Insta360 X5 and that 3-meter selfie stick. Now let me be clear, I don't mind that camera at all, and it's done some fun things for me and my family as I have used it. It just didn't work out on this particular trip. So for 2026, you know, I'm already testing a number of pieces of gear as I think about the adventure for this year. So far, we've covered the Norda Run 001A Dyneema trail shoes, trail runners, the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus tent, and one of the 2 Hyperlight Mountain Gear Unbound 40 or Wind Rider 40. I will also be testing some new camera gear that I want to try and hopefully do a better job with on this year's adventure versus the Tahoe Rim Trail. So the first camera that I'm going to bring that's replacing the Sony ZV-1 is the camera we're on right now, which is a camera I've had almost since I started this YouTube channel. This is the Sony A6700 camera. And right now I've got the Sony 15mm 1.4 aperture G lens, which is, I think, a prime lens, I should say, which is, I think, the lens that I will also bring with me on the adventure this year. I kind of like the larger field of view and the smaller depth of field with the f1.4. This will primarily be used in the same way I use the Sony ZV-1 Mark II. I'm just looking for a better quality image, which unfortunately that one did not produce the greatest quality of images, in my opinion. Second, I'm going to switch out the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for the DJI Osmo Action 6 camera. This primarily because I'm expecting there to likely be more weather, and I wanted something that's going to be waterproof and not have a problem if the weather does come. And particularly if I can't use the Sony camera here either, I've got a good backup plan. And then 3, and again, for creative purposes, I am going to be bringing the Hover Air drone with me. This trail should give me some pretty decent spots where I can use a drone for some unique footage. I've used some B-roll of this already as I've been testing it out on the trail, and it's a really fun and unique drone in terms of most of it's just preset. So I can tell it what I want it to do, or I can pick one of the presets and it just executes those presets as I hold my palm out. And that is really exciting for me. So this isn't just about the new cameras I'm bringing, but it's about putting to the test my workflow on the trail, trying to be more simple in how I do things, and being more intentional about what I do bring and ensuring that it does produce the value that I want it to produce. Look, I like to film on the trail. I like to capture the footage, and I'm of course, as somebody that is on YouTube, I still don't consider myself a YouTuber. As somebody that's on YouTube, I want to be able to produce things that are visually pleasing for you all as well, and just selfishly to document my trips and be able to put them somewhere for me and my kids and friends and family to share the experience with them. And I think these 3 cameras will help me with the lessons learned on the Tahoe Rim Trail as I move in to 2026. So if you are thinking about filming your hikes, or you do film your hikes, what are some things that you have learned in terms of your camera and workflow? What are some of the interesting cameras that you have used? Or if you've just got a question about any of the cameras that I have mentioned, and because you're thinking about them or considering using them or purchasing them, please let me know. I can leave some links down below for these items if you're interested in them. These are affiliate links. It doesn't add any cost to you as the buyer, but does support me as a creator to have a little bit of a kickback, and it keeps sponsors away from the channel. So if you enjoy a sponsor-free channel, I would appreciate if you would use those affiliate links if and only if you're considering buying these products. Well, friends, thank you for being here again with me today. The longer I hike, the more I realize it's not about carrying the most gear. It's about carrying the gear that provides the most value. That applies to cameras, and that applies to basically everything else in your kit. So if you want to see how this thinking has shaped some of my gear decisions, go check out this video of ultralight gear that I am done with. And with that, friends, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.